Okay, and welcome back. Other lectures, I already helped you to make our application interface like our design. So in these lectures, I will help you to connect all of these elements to our code to control it. Okay. First of all, we will control to the start button to our interface controller, and you can see at the right side in here. And you can see custom class to control this interface controller, that is the interface controller.script file at the left side. Okay, if you want to control this, and you can open assistant editor by press the button on the code at the right side in here, show the assistant editor here, or you can simply keep the option button on the keyboard and click interface controller.switch at the left side. Okay, now you can see we have choose a window in here. In the left side we have interface storyboard with our interface here, and at the right side we have interface controller.switch. If you can simply choose this in here. Okay, now if you want to control this start button, you simply click the control button on the keyboard and drag this start button to our interface controller.switch. Okay, when you drag in here, we have two options of connection in here. First is outlet and next is action. This outlet is if for we to control the outlet of this button. For example, if you want to control the title or color of background of this button, you use outlet. Okay, for example, I will choose the call this button is a start button. When you make a new variable of some button or some element, you have to put it not a capital, and next you can separate the words by capital the first letter of next word, and you can see here I make it a start button. Okay, now you press connect, and similar you can keep control and drag again this start button to our code in here, and you choose the action. With this action we can control the action when the user press the start button. Okay, I can call it the start button press. Okay, now you can see okay, I will show more for you in this. I will turn off this assistant editor and select interface controller.switch, and you can see here we have some function await with context WinActive active on the interface controller.switch. Await with context function will run first when we start our application, we start our interface controller, and WinActive will run after that. And when the interface is so not turned off, we will see that the deactive function will run. Okay, I will show you. Further on, we can print something on the output in here. Okay, we can call it awake function. In WinActive, we can call it print WinActive. Okay, now you can run to check some print lines out in the output. Okay, now we stop and run, and now you can see on our Apple Watch. Okay, now you can see in here when we have our start button show up, you can see first one we have a wait function. This function will run first, and next we have a WinActive in here, and here this is WinActive. Okay, so if you want to control this button when the button is show up, you can control here. For example, I will change the title of this button to text and change the background color to the green. How can I do that? Okay, I will go on the start button. I will set title. Yes, we have use string we can set it to check. Okay, and next, if I want to set the background, you can see we have some function in here. Okay, I will change the background color to green color. Okay, now when our interface show up, this button will set the title and background color. Now we have to check, run to see what happened in here. And you see, we already set the title to check and set the background color to green. Okay, and remember that when you want to control the our title or background or something like that, you have to use the IP outlet in here. And if you want to control the function, for example, when the user click on the check button in here, you will control, you want to your app make some function, you have to use the IP action in here. Okay, I will show you. First of all, we will print start button press, and now I will comment of this line. You simply make this to comment by press to backslash like this, or you can keep the comment on your keyboard and use backslash. Okay, now run and check. And now you can see when we comment up to line of this code, so our start button will come back when our design. Okay, and now for example, when we press the start button, you can see we have the output is start button press. If you didn't see the output, you can simply press in here at the right side of the code and show up the output in here, and you can see here. Okay, now user clicks on the start button, I want the start button will show up this interface to help us to come to the next interface. Okay, it's very easy. You can keep the start button like this and keep the control on the keyboard and drag it to the next interface controller. In here we have the action schedule, we have a push or model. I will show you what a push first. Okay, now you can run again to see what happened. So we press the start button, and you can see we will show us our interface in here, and we have a little arrow in here. We can come back to the start button, to the first interface if we want, by pressing the arrow. And if we want, we can change this to the model by press this schedule. At the right side in here we choose this model. Okay, now we run again and see what is different. Now press start. So instead of we have a little arrow, we have a cancel button. I think in this I like the arrow, so I choose pause. Now run. Okay, so this is schedule that we can that we use on the storyboard, that we make it on the storyboard. You can simply do similar things like use the code by, now for example, I press the interface controller.swift in here, and you can see here, if the user press the start button in here and I want to show up the next interface, I can use it by code by using this function shell present controller with name. You can see here present controller with name. First of all, we have to use a name variable in here is username of the next interface, and you can choose here. I didn't use this schedule, I can delete it. So here's the interface, and you can see This is identifier. At the right side we have identifier. This interface I can call it game controller. You can call whatever you want. For example, I call it to game controller. And now I in interface controller outstrip and present this controller, so I can present the game controller in here, and context we can use new. Now we can run to check. When we press that, you can see here we have a cancel button and our interface game controller interface. So you can see when you see here a cancel button, it's like a smaller secure. And if you want to make it like a push secure, you can use this function. Push controller with name is similar. Now run and check. When user press that button, and you can see we will show up the game controller interface in here, and we have a little arrow in here. It's same. Okay. So I will use push controller with name, and we've already finished to hook the first elements on the interface. Okay. See you in next lecture.